I flew him in all the way from Las Vegas. He's getting ready for his big fight, and he's headed to Montreal. So we have to feed him some cheesy fries. It's Kevin Lee on this week's Food Truck Diary. All right, let me feed you.
Oh man, you trying to kill me with this? Okay.
I never know what it's gonna be.
Oh sweet samurai, I'm not gonna do the killing me softly, even though that's what you're doing right now.
Before you go to Montreal, I want you to shit your pants, Kevin.
Let's do the OG.
I've been fasting all day. I'm so hungry. I always make excuses, don't I? I'm like, listen, I've worked out twice today. I've been fasting. And Kevin's here, so we're going to celebrate. My man, fresh off the plane.
Yes, sir.
Straight from Vegas?
Yeah.
Vegas is still home?
Yeah, for now.
For now?
We'll see, you know.
Because
I'm doing most of my work in Montreal, but Vegas, I kind of like it.
You love Vegas.
I like the weather.
The whole squad is there?
Yeah, family, all that.
Now, for those that don't know, you changed camps. You went to TriStar with Firas, who's, I mean, a mastermind, one of the best in the world. But you still do some training, I'm sure, because if that's home, you're still training with just the regular crew in Vegas still?
Yeah, I still keep my team, you know what I mean? I think it's important that you come up with the same people. So I still keep my team that I've been started with. They still in my camp. We just added Firas, you know? So I think it's not so much like I completely changed training camps and, you know, I'm with a whole different team. I still got my guys, and we just add Firas onto it.
You got your guys. You just added, a head coach.
Yeah, exactly. I needed a head coach. That's what it was after what happened with Robert Follis. I needed a new head coach.
Yeah, Robert passed away, and then he was your guy, right? He passed away, and then is it fair to say you're kind of like, not lost, but it's tough, man, when something like that happens, right?
I mean, everybody need a coach. You know, I did try and do a couple fights without having one and just kind of, doing it on my own. But then I realized, like, everybody needs a coach. Michael Jordan got a coach. You know, everybody has to have a coach.
Especially at this level. I think you're able to, for a long time, you're able to get away with a lot because you're so athletic and you're so explosive and you're such a good competitor in your wrestling background. But in 2020 in the UFC,
it's too hard, man.
For whoever's listening, if you don't have a head coach, you're never gonna. This day and age, you're not gonna make it. You're just not.
It's too. Everybody's athletic. Everybody's tough. Everybody can fight, you know. And I just kind of was getting by just on straight talent, and then at some point you got to bring the brains into it, and you got to kind of take the ego out of it, and be like, okay, I need somebody else who know a little bit more than I do. You know?
And out of all the coaches, I mean, obviously he's world renowned and he's great. Why for us?
It's the way he break down the game for me. You know, it's like certain people you get a little bit more of a connection with. Certain people speak to you a little different. Yeah. And he's one of those guys, when he speak, I can kind of hear what he's trying to say. Yeah. You know, he's speaking to me at a different level. And I tried out a bunch of different.
That's what I was gonna ask. Did you try out a few camps?
Yeah, I moved different camps, tried different
camps.
Coaches.
We'd know, like AK, ATT. Did you go all around?
Yeah, I went down to Arizona MMA Lab.
Oh, nice.
I went over and worked over in Denver too with
at high altitude.
Yeah, with
nice. Christian Allen, Elliot Marshall, all those boys.
Yep. And
Cody Donovan.
You know, the rest of them, I just didn't have that same kind of bond. I knew as soon as I walked into TriStar, I was like, oh, okay, this, you can feel the energy.
Yeah,
I can feel it off of Firas. It's like,
the other thing, when I heard you were going there, I think Rogan told me you were going there. Me and him were talking about you. And he suggested Firas for you, right?
A little bit.
Because I think a lot of that comes from, and you know this, is like, Firas was George St. Pierre's guy. Yeah. And you have similar attributes and similar style and skill to GSP. So it's like, all right, GSP's kind of, retired. He might come back for one, who knows? Yeah. But Firas has some time on his hands, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So by you going up there, and if this guy who's, arguably the greatest of all time, if his coach wants to take you under his wing, it makes all the sense in the world. Yeah,
and it built like that respect that I got for him. You know what I mean? Like he's got such a long history, and he obviously brought George up from nothing into the greatest. Yeah. So it kind of gave me that extra bit of respect for him. But I think it go a little bit deeper than that for me. Like, I don't try and compare myself to nobody else. George does move a little similar. You know, I think. I
think there's some similarities, but no, I know what
there's
you're
a
saying.
lot that I can pick up from him, but it's just more the way that I understand from.
You guys vibe together.
Yeah. We vibe on a different level.
When you're training, there's George in the room.
Yeah.
Have you trained with him?
Which I'll say it will really do help, because he's one of the dudes that I looked up to.
He's the best.
He's the best. So he's one of the dudes that I looked up to getting ready for this sport. So when I can train and he's watching me and he's kind of giving me like little bits and tips and little tricks, it kind of make you want to show off a little bit for him. You know what I'm saying?
The other thing about George, which some people might not know this, but George was the first guy to kind of like bring the professional athlete to the UFC, like his regiment. Like the guys from Denver, we'd go up there because of Nate Marquardt, and when we saw the way George was moving and the blueprint, he'd be doing this, then we'd go to gymnastics, then we'd eat this, and we'd get a massage, then we'd train, then we'd do this. You're like, oh damn, he's a professional athlete.
Which I kind of picked up a little bit too. You know, I had my own way of doing things, and then when I went up there and saw the way that they move, it do kind of teach you, like, hey, I can take this to a whole different level.
Yeah, because you're young too. That's the other thing about you. You're young,
so I'm trying to figure out life and everything along with trying to figure out the fighting. So being up there, I learned more than just the techniques, the punches, the kicks. Like, I'm learning, like, what it mean to be a real martial artist almost, you know? It sounds fucking cliche.
No,
like, that sounds like
but I'm telling you, with Frost, it's just different. He's so damn good at what he does. And he's so smart and so cerebral with things. Not to mention, he's a black belt in jiu-jitsu, world-class kick. Like, he knows everything. And it's very rare you have a coach who knows the ground, who knows stand-up, and then can sit outside and coach you on boxing.
And he's got such a attention to detail, you know what I mean, that even I don't got, that I want to, like, I try and pick up a little bit here and there. And the level that I'm trying to take things to, the level that I'm trying to get, like, I need that.
You need,
so,
hell yeah, you need it. Everybody needs that. Yeah. And I don't think if you didn't have the talent that you have, I don't think Faraz would take you on. You know how many guys try to get with Faraz?
Of course, I see it. I'd be up there. I see it. All the people that come in and out.
Everyone wants to be Faraz. Everyone.
Yeah, busy man.
He's the mastermind behind GSP, bro.
Yeah.
Here's the other thing, though, for us. Do we have to be in Montreal? How cold is it? How cold, dude?
I'm gonna let you know.
The coldest I've ever been is Montreal.
Really?
Oh, dude, the coldest I've ever. If GSP wasn't driving me around, I would have freaking left, man. All the signs are in French.
You're not
the
making
food's
me
nice.
feel good.
The girls are hot, but the weather is shit.
Yeah, this is gonna be my first training camp with a real winter.
You know, you're going to training camp when?
Saturday. This Saturday. So I'm about to get
January in Montreal, bro.
I know. January and February.
Watch next year, you're gonna be back on it like, so I'm at ATT now in Miami. I love Faraz, but the weather just it's so, dude.
I gotta make these sacrifices, man. I done sacrificed a lot for this sport, a lot of shit.
Well, I think it's good Montreal's that cold because there's nothing else to do. You know, it's so cold. You're like, I need to get to train and get my ass back home.
That's exactly how I'm setting it up too. I got the little spot that's right down the street from the gym. I'm gonna go back and forth, have somebody deliver my groceries. I'm not about to, if I ain't gotta step outside that room, I'm not doing it. Only thing I'm focused on is March 14th, getting ready for Oliveira. Cause it's gonna be a tough fight. Like,
for sure.
Like, this ain't one I can sleep on.
In Montreal, this is your first camp, but you were there for how many weeks last fight?
7 weeks.
7 weeks. Did George take you to the wrestling center with all the Russians and the? Dude, I mean, you probably came up wrestling.
Different level.
He took me and Nate there. And here's what you do. It's all Russians. This guy's like the head of whatever wrestling federation. You super polite. Such an asshole. His thing's such an asshole. You can't talk. You can't talk. You can't talk.
You can't talk to him.
You can't talk to anybody. And then so the guys are wrestling on mats, and everyone else, especially if you're an outsider, you have to stand outside like this and wait for someone to call you out.
It's different.
It's so intimidating.
It's really different.
But they love George.
And like you said, I came up wrestling too, so I kind of was expecting something similar to the way Americans do it. But when
do Americans do? I didn't grow up wrestling. Do Americans do that?
No. It's more like a team
on the side
aspect.
of the mat like this. Just fucking.
It's more like a team aspect in America. There, you could tell them dudes are out there. They competing. They don't give a fuck about you.
But,
the coach don't like you. He's told me I suck.
They don't want you to do well. They don't want you to do well.
Yeah, every time I would like score a takedown or something, he like, go sit up, go stand back up.
Yeah, think of a Russian Nick Saban. Yeah, dude, he's so brutal. Yeah, and here's the other.
I love him though.
It's great. Ain't it cool?
It's cool,
bro. Yeah.
I like when
I sound like I'm clowning him, but it's cool because it's different. Here's the other thing. You realize how fucking good George is at wrestling when you get, because they're world class now on the national team. Yeah. And when I was there, their best guy was this black dude, and he was on the national team. And he's so fucking good, destroying everybody. And then he calls out George. I'm like, God, George about to get his ass whooped. And then they go at it. And I was like, oh shit. He's so good at wrestling.
And these guys are doing it all day, every day, and they the same age as me, you know.
Oh, they're so good.
But that's what they do. You know, we got to focus on.
Here's the benefit
everything.
for you too. Yeah. Doing camp there, being in an environment like that, you know.
Trust me,
and wrestling's your back. Yeah, you know what's up. Dude, remember the time you fought Tony Ferguson? You had fucking staph.
Yeah.
Remember that?
That one was the worst weight cut.
That's a weight cut.
That's a fight I'm trying to get back. You know, I'm trying to get that one back. If Tony beats Khabib, that's the next fight.
We'll get in your fight next, but since you brought it up, what do you think happens with Tony Khabib? This is my problem. This is my problem right now with MMA, the world of MMA. Yeah. Everyone's all, including Dana's like, Khabib versus Conor's next. I'm like,
he got to get through Tony. He got to get through Tony. Like they overlooked him.
Tony's so goddamn good.
For sure.
He many fights he's won in the road. And when you look at the matchup, I mean, Tony's not a great matchup for Khabib. Now, Khabib's probably going to be the favorite. That's fine. But just if you go through the way that fight breaks down, and Khabib's probably going to take him down, but Tony in the transitions, Tony's elbows, and you're 25 minutes, you don't think Tony is going to cut Khabib in 25 minutes? You don't think he's going to open him up?
It's definitely a lot of premature, you know, Khabib, and well, like, let's just skip past it.
Let's skip past the biggest fight of Khabib's career. Let's just assume he, I'm like, what the fuck are you guys talking about?
Because I mean, we know as competitors that this is for sure the hardest fight. It's way, I mean, sure, him and Conor sold more and all that, but as a competitor, you just know that fight is the real one to make.
For the game, that's to decide who's the best 155er on the planet.
I mean, I will say, I think I fought the best Tony, and Tony was best about 2017,
Oh, you think he's fallen down a little bit?
I do think he slowed down, you know, especially like that Pettis fight I look at, he got a little slow, and then I look at the Cowboy, and then he got even slower, and it's like, that don't look good, you know, he getting up there in age.
You're doing well in that fight, too. You're doing really well.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. I'm already looking towards the next one. You know, I think that's a fight that a lot of people want to see again.
Agree.
And me too. You know.
What was your thoughts on the whole Conor Cowboy fight?
It's a little irritating, to be honest with you. The way it played out. I mean, I knew what it was. I knew what was going to happen. But to hear, I was listening to ESPN the other day, and they're trying to say that Conor is the sportsman over all sports. They're trying to say he's the sportsman of the year.
Well, that's Stephen A. Smith and Max Kellerman. Someone's in their ear. Like they just found out who Conor was like a week ago.
Crazy though. You know, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a good fight, but the man was tailor-made for him. You know, I didn't show up to that fight because I'm like, it wasn't a real fight. It could have been a lot better.
Let me ask you that, and you know, just say if I'm way off on this, but I think one of the reasons a lot of, I don't want to say, it might be a little bit of a jealousy because Conor gets so much, 100%. As a former fighter, like when a guy gets that much attention and he's the fucking talk of the town, you're like, dude, I think most competitors are like, dude, fuck that guy. But at the same time, it's fuck that guy because he's not making 80 million, but he's making millions.
I'm real. It ain't even that. It's the opportunities that he get. You know, when I made my comeback fight.
But you don't think he's earned those?
Yeah, no, not really, to be honest with you. When I made my comeback fight, I had to fight a guy, Gregor Gillespie, you know, undefeated, coming up, and I had to fight him in his hometown. Yeah, it wasn't smart. No. You know, I didn't get to pick Cowboy coming off 2 knockout losses, who don't handle the pressure real well, and, you know, and get to pick the weight class, and you get to pick.
But you know why though? You know why though, right?
I get it.
You know why?
I know what it is.
Like when Leonardo DiCaprio shows up to set, he gets the Diet Coke he wants. He gets the M&M colors he wants because he's the guy that gets all the ticket sales.
Yeah, but for me, I got to put in twice as much work. You know, I got to go down to Brazil and fight this kid that nobody wants to fight. I had to go up to New York and fight the kid that nobody wanted to fight. I don't get to pick and choose, so that's why I get a little bit more
Aggravated about it?
Jealous, you could say jealous, sure. Yeah, I wish I had
I
wish I had the easy route.
Yeah.
I do. That ain't never really been my career. I ain't never really had the hand-pick type fights. So I get a little jealous when somebody else do.
I've been listening. You have a chip on your shoulder. You know what I'm saying?
I got to.
Like you think everyone's against you.
Yeah, I got to.
Why?
I mean, I don't think everybody's against me, but I do think that the odds are stacked against me. They have been from the beginning.
I mean, you're one of the most talented guys in the division. You've been. Is this your set? Because your fight coming up in March what?
March 14th.
In Brazil.
Yeah.
Against Charles.
It's like my seventh or eighth.
Seventh main event? Eighth main event?
Yeah. But we know how this works too. You know what I mean? We know.
Talk to me.
You know, when I see a guy like Jorge Masvidal, the UFC can push you to be a bigger star. You know what I mean? The UFC can give you them opportunities to be even bigger. Sure, do I get opportunities that other dudes don't get? Yeah, I mean, okay.
It's business.
Am I getting the biggest? No. At the same time, it's business. But I feel like the odds have been stacked against me from the beginning.
Even in the UFC?
Sean Shelby has told me straight to my face, they don't want me to win.
No. Why would Sean tell you that?
Because he thought I was an overachieving wrestler with a big mouth. And this was a couple fights ago before I got into, you know, big fights. This was before the Chiesa fight. So it was before I really got up there.
Did he tell you that maybe it's like a motivational thing?
Man, I don't know. What he
I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, all right, you can.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I know where I stand in the company, you know? I know. But I also know my value to it too. I know I got a lot of pull in this game. I see, you know, I do something. I see a lot of other guys, they try and follow suit. They all watching me. They don't put my name in their mouth because they know what type of fight they be in for. But when I hear Conor say that he wanted to get a head kick knockout, I can't help but look back and go, I mean, look, I watch guys on the come up. You know, I watch them now on the come up. Are they watching me? For sure. Do they got their eyes on me? For sure. They want to see me lose?
Yeah.
For sure. Is it guys that I want to see lose that's coming up?
For sure.
For sure.
You know, see, I think the UFC, and maybe Sean Shelby said that, maybe he was having a bad night, who knows. But the UFC needs a guy like you to keep winning.
Yeah, I think
they're rooting for you.
I bring a different
value
to the company.
Here's the thing, though. They're also in the business of you have to win.
Yeah. And they're in the business of money, too. You know, I'm not one of these guys that's going to, like, shout racism to the UFC or anything crazy like that. Like, no, they're in the business of making money. You know, when Conor shows up to his first fight and he brings 5,000 Irishmen with him, can I really blame them for pushing him? No. But it is what it is. I can be jealous of it. Yeah. I mean, I can be mad that I ain't got 5,000 people from Detroit doing the same thing. Yeah. I got to be the guy to go over in other people's home countries and fight them. So I think I bring that little bit of a different value. They know I ain't scared of no man in no country.
Your last fight against Gillespie, why? How did that get brought to your management? And was everyone like, let's do it? He's a monster.
Yeah.
When you heard that, I don't know if you follow, but me and Rogan, I think on my show and then on Raw, I'm like, God, I'm scared for Kevin Matt out of all the fights. Like, why do this to him now? For both you. It didn't make sense for Gregor or you, I didn't think.
Yeah, because I think now he's sitting out with a broken jaw, so he ain't going to be competing for a long time. He's somebody that they could push. A lot of people thought that he can give Khabib a real test.
With his grappling.
To me, that's what woke me up for that fight is I don't look at the rankings, I don't look at none of that. I want the hardest fight that I can get because I know that's going to push me to the next level, win, lose, or draw. That's what's going to take me above and beyond. So when I looked at him, there was nobody else left. You know what I mean? There was nobody at the time. Too many things was going on. There was nobody else left to fight, and nobody wanted to fight the kid. So I just raised my hand.
And then you get done with that impossible fight, and then you want to fight that Russian.
Yeah. I seriously tried to make that fight happen now. You know, I tried to make it happen on the Brooklyn card underneath Khabib and Tony.
What happened?
They don't think they think that card was already filled. I said let's make it a mega event. You know, you would have had Khabib and Tony, Rose Namajunas on the card, and then me versus Islam would have been a mega event.
Great card.
But they sold me me and Islam in Russia in June, and when they started pitching that, I'm like,
what's up, dog?
I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you have to get
through Oliveira.
You have to get through Oliveira, right?
He is my tunnel focus right now.
But why fight Oliveira, not just wait for June against the Russian?
It's a good question. Yeah, I did. I thought about it. But me,
you want to be active?
Yeah, I'm a competitor, man. And at the end of the day.
Why you got to go to Brazil? Why you got to go to Russia? Why can't I do in Vegas, hometown?
Biggest fight, you know? It's a harder fight. It makes it a harder fight for sure. We maybe could have done it in Vegas, but I just...
Have you fought in Brazil before?
Yeah, and I didn't like it.
The worst.
I know.
Did you win or lose?
I won, but...
Who'd you fight?
Francisco Trinaldo.
Oh, he's a monster.
Yeah.
When I fought in Brazil, and I fought...
Brutal fight.
My fight was awful, and I fought Big Nog, and I
remember that.
I don't know if I think UFC 134. I forget, but I don't know if it was done intentionally or what. But we're warming up, so I'm in the dressing room for 5 hours.
Okay.
So they got me there really early. I'm like, why am I here so early?
5 hours.
So I'm warming up, and my coach's like, I gotta sit down, man. He's sitting like this, and I'm like, God, I'm lightheaded too. And they backed up the truck, so the fumes were going to the locker room.
Oh,
now, I don't think Nog was like, hey, make sure the fumes are...
Yeah.
I just think...
They stacked the chips against you.
Who knows?
That's listen, that...
Now, could I have slipped the right hand still? Yeah, okay. But I'm just saying, when you're in Brazil, things are a little different.
Sure, yeah. These things happen. We know as competitors, it's not always as cut and dry as it look on TV, you know? People think that, oh, that's just...
You can't get room service either. I hired a...
you can't get water, you can't get food.
Can't get that.
You gotta watch where you're going. Yeah,
be careful.
Why am I doing it?
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many obstacles. It's cool.
I fucking love it, man.
I get it.
It's, you know,
I had to hire a family in a favela to cook my meals and bring it to, and I'd have someone get it, like rice and beans and chicken.
I ain't doing that. I ain't doing
that. That's how nervous I was that they were gonna spike my food.
I am worried a little bit about that, but
I think you'll be all right.
Yeah,
let me feed you.
Right.
This won't be spiked. Yeah, this won't be spiked. Oh, thank you. That looks nice.
Look heavy.
Oh, thank you, sir. Appreciate you.
I gotta make 55 in a little bit.
Don't go too crazy, man. You miss weight, we're gonna have problems on this show.
But they put mac and cheese on some waffle fries, man.
Yeah, if you ate that whole thing, Frost would be not happy.
Yeah, that ain't gonna happen.
Again, I advise you not to do it, but you're a grown man. I like to cut my sandwiches in half. For whatever reason, it makes them taste better. I don't know what that is. I think it's when maybe I was a kid. We'll see. What's your weight at right now?
I sit at about 83, 82, 83.
That's pretty typical?
Yeah.
Like you're not?
No. I've gotten bigger before, and I've been smaller before. But 182, you know, it's decent for starting camp. When I'm top shape, like my peak in camp, I'm about 178 somewhere.
Really?
Yeah, and then I do the rest of the water cut from there.
That's a beast, man.
I know. They should stop doing it.
But yeah, if you're peak at that weight, wouldn't you consider fighting at a? If you're peak, you know what I'm saying? Like that's the argument, right?
Yeah. The problem is, you know, everybody's doing it. You know, so if I'm gonna compete against other guys that are at that same level, we at the same weight, you know? I'm not even the biggest lightweight out there.
No.
I've fought bigger lightweights.
Yeah.
So, you know, I gotta do what I gotta do to compete.
Yeah. How you feeling about this matchup coming up here?
You know,
to me, Charles is he's a performer. You know what I'm saying? You look at the awards that he's won, the bonuses, stuff like that.
He's gonna come out and he's gonna fight hard. The problem with him, sometimes he's on, sometimes he's not. You know, and when you're a competitor, it's hard to prepare for somebody like that because you never know what's gonna show up on fight night. And it makes it changes the game a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like somebody who's just straight up. You never know where he's gonna be, and he's at the peak of his physical prime right now. You know what I mean? He's 30 years old. I think he just had a daughter, so he gonna be.
The dad power.
Yeah. You know, when you just have one, I feel like it kind of raises stakes a little bit. So I'm expecting a damn good fight. I'm not getting somebody. He's coming off of 6 wins. You know what I mean? He's got a lot of momentum behind him.
He has a lot of momentum behind him.
Yeah. He's got one of the longest win streaks right now at lightweight. So I got to steal that momentum from him.
You don't want to wait and fight Islam in June in Russia? That's a big fight.
Yeah.
I don't know who the headliner would be. I mean, you guys probably be.
Yeah, we're gonna headline it. Yeah. So when I sign for this one, I'm signing for 2 bouts. I want them to add that into the contract.
You think they'll do that? I like your positive thinking. I like your positive thinking.
It's never really been done before.
Yeah, no.
You know, ain't nobody ever signed 2 belts before. But that's what I want. Because I want to do both. The big one is June in Islam, headlining that one.
Yeah.
But this one too is just as big. So
you can be active, man, because you beat Charles, Brazil, beat Islam in Russia. That's in June. Shit, might get 2 more fights out of you.
I think one more at the end of the year.
It's a lot, isn't it? Yeah, Dominic Cruz was talking about that. He was saying how even when you're winning, getting ready for 3 fights in a year, even 4 fights in a year, like it beat him up. So he said by the time he got to that 3rd or 4th fight, he was exhausted.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. It's the training camps too. You know, especially having to go up to the code, spend all that time, 6 weeks huddled up into a room by yourself.
Nightmare.
It's the training camps. Those are what eat at your body. Even if I go down there and I starch Oliveira in a minute, it's gonna take some time to recover after that. So, but I want to be active in 2020. So I didn't want to sit out. I'm gonna hold that belt.
Yeah.
Listen, they can X me out of however many conversations as they want.
I think it's good you have a chip on your shoulder, but at the same time too, I'm not saying anything you don't know, right? You won 2 out of your last 4. That last fight that you won is huge. Got you right back on track. Now you're fighting Charles. You want to fight the Islam in Russia. So if you win those 3, I don't think that people are leaving you out of the conversation. But when you look at the top, the top 5 guys, right? So you got Khabib, Tony, rightfully so. Those motherfuckers haven't lost down.
No doubt.
Ever.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah. And then you got Dustin Poirier. That'd be a great fight. You got Dustin Poirier. You got Connor. You got those boys at the top. And I think
then I'm number 5.
Are you 5?
I mean, listen, the rankings are what they're gonna be, but
you should be somewhere around.
I should be number 5.
There,
I should be number 5. I mean, I don't why they don't. It's politics at the end of the day.
About,
but I've lost 1 questionable decision against Al Iaquinta at lightweight.
Yeah.
No other losses, so I was top 5.
Oh, Justin Gaethje, who you've been trying to go after for a while, huh?
Yeah, but come on. If Gaethje ain't gonna fight, he got to give up that spot.
Yeah, Dana says he's turned down a lot of fights.
Yeah, I tried to make that fight happen.
I remember you saying.
Yeah.
And they said no, huh?
He don't want it. I don't know. To me, you got to fight.
As long as you and I have been talking, you've been going after Gaethje and Khabib.
Yeah. The 2 top ones. I don't really go after Connor too much because he gonna do what he gonna do.
Yeah.
Gaethje and Khabib, and then Tony is always there too.
Yeah.
Tony's really the top guy for a while until he loses to Khabib or something crazy. But yeah, those are the guys I want.
So for you, let's say I'm Dana White. You win in Brazil, you win in Russia. How are we closing that? Who would you fight end of the year?
I don't know, man.
Dude, I figure you'd be pretty high up there, man.
Yeah, but
I hate putting the, jumping ahead, but I'm just trying to.
I was still a lot of their momentum, Listen, that belt is mine. They gonna fight for that belt, but it's mine. Like that's what's gonna happen at the end in 2021. I'm gonna be the champ. That's my only focus. All the rest of the talks or whatever, like the belt is mine. So whatever they do or however they shake up, as many times as they want to flip flop and all that, that title's mine. So I'm gonna fight who I gotta fight in order to get there. I gotta beat all these guys anyway.
Yeah, beat some tough guys. Yeah.
That's why I'm not sitting out until June. I'm gonna have to fight somebody like Oliveira anyway. So I feel like I'm the champ right now. So we might as well get it in.
Yeah, you're going the tough route. You know what I'm saying? You're going the route, because most guys in today's business, for the most part, they're just doing what's going to get the most money, what's going to get the most eyeballs. And you know this, because fighting Gregor, who's an undefeated prospect, I didn't think it was smart, but obviously something I don't. You starched him. And then fighting Charles in Brazil. I mean, all right, fucking tough fight. All right, Islam in Russia. Fuck, all right, man.
Yeah.
But it's not like they're these huge names,
Yeah.
But they're just these monsters.
Yeah, I'm kind of going against.
What do you think that is? Do you have? Who's managing this? who do you talk through with this, man? I'm not saying it's the wrong way to go about it, but
I'm going against what Uncle Chael always say. He said you want the biggest fight for the most amount of money and the easiest fight.
Correct.
I'm kind of going against that. I'm taking little money, big fights, big risk, little reward.
Why?
I could make other people's lives a little bit easier.
Yeah.
I just choose. I don't know. I just choose the hard route. It's really the only options that I got left. like I said, when I went down and I sat down with him for 9 hours and tried to make a fight with me and Islam happen in Brooklyn.
You sat down with the UFC for 9 hours?
Yeah, they didn't.
You and who else?
They didn't leave me no other option.
It was you and
me
who
and
else?
my manager.
You and your manager?
Yeah.
And you guys, were you in Vegas in Dana's office?
Yeah.
For 9 hours? What'd you guys talk about for 9 hours?
Well, it was a couple hours here talking to Hunter, and then they wanted me to, you know, after I left from there, they're like, oh, come back.
How long ago was this?
Before I signed this fight.
Oh, how'd the talks go? Because
they got me to sign Oliveira,
yeah.
So you know, I let them kind of have it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they needed a headliner. I'm the marquee fight, so they wanted somebody to. When nobody else gonna step up and do it.
And were they saying take this fight for us, and then we'll, you know.
And then we'll give you Islam.
Yeah.
That was my main thing. I wanted Islam, and it's like okay,
why
well,
Islam, man?
Scratch our
What's
backs.
your deal? Why are you going after this Russian killer?
Because
I think as a purist and the hardcores, people love it. The last guy who I know who's like you in the same fashion would be Stylebender. He's a guy who doesn't want the easy fight, doesn't want the biggest name. That's the reason why he cut out Yoel Romero. He wants whoever, come get it. He wants to defend the belt, right? And you're the same way, but you don't see that a lot these days. Yeah, I guess John, but John, you know, John's just so much better than everyone. He didn't really give a shit.
I do try and learn from a lot of people. You know what I mean? Especially people who I got a lot of respect for and look up to. Israel is one of those dudes for sure.
Yeah.
Adesanya, I think he approached the game a lot better than people even give him credit for. Like, even a couple years ago, like not a lot of people notice it or pick up on it, but when he was on his come up, they offered him a fight in the UFC to kind of get the shine.
Yeah.
And you know, when you coming up, that's what everybody is dreaming of. It's like, oh, I want to get in the UFC.
That's your ticket to the chocolate factory.
And I heard he turned it down. He was like, I'm not ready yet. I want to get more experience out the way first.
So smart.
And I sat back and I looked at it, and nobody knew his name at the time. I'm like, huh, like that dude knows something.
Because I wouldn't do that. At
me
his age,
neither.
I'm like, I'm in.
Bruh, I'm all like,
yeah, me too.
I hype up.
Yeah, me too.
You know, I took that Tony Ferguson fight. I'm hype. I'm like, boy, I knew I wasn't ready for it.
I know.
I wasn't ready for that spotlight. I wasn't.
But it's the competitor.
It's the competitor in me. Just want to rise up.
Yeah, that's where management comes into play.
I try and learn from somebody like Israel, where he's like, okay, I could do it. And I could, you know, he could have took that UFC debut and probably would have did good, but he wouldn't be at the level that he at now.
No,
you know?
yeah, and I think young guys can learn from it too, because I say this, the young guys ask me all the time, man, when you get to the UFC, you better have all your bases covered.
Yeah.
They're not gonna, you're not a prospect, and none of that. If you want to be a prospect, go fight in Bellator or PFL or whatever the other bullshit leagues are. But when you get to the UFC, you better have all your ducks in a row, because they're gonna toss you the best of the best.
Yeah.
And if you have you lose 3 fights and you're out, that's it. That's your career in the UFC.
So I do try and learn from somebody like that, but then at the same time I throw my own little spin on it. You know, I try and fight the guys that nobody else is really looking at. A guy like Islam, who I feel like competitively, he's up there. He's one of the top 5. Competitively.
Problems.
You know what I mean? I think he's a tougher fight than somebody like Dustin. Even though Dustin's bigger, more people know him, it would be a bigger fight.
Dustin's ranked higher.
He's ranked higher competitively.
Yeah.
That's what kind of get me up.
That makes sense, man.
Yeah.
I think it's your positive attitude that's kind of got you to where you're at as well. You know, obviously you're making crazy choices. You know, at the same time too, when you know the personality that you have, when you lost those 2 fights, especially with a guy who you exude confidence and it's kind of, you know, that's your thing. Losing those 2 fights must have been tough, man.
Yeah. It eat out you, but you learn from it. You know, that's all you can do. I just tried to learn from it. I took what I really needed out of it. I don't think.
Which was what?
That I needed a head coach. That was the biggest. When the going really got tough against Iaquinta, which it was a close, really close fight.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Going into the 5th round, I needed somebody in my ear to say, "Hey, listen, you got to turn it on this round.
Yeah.
Like we really got to put him away." But my ego kind of took over, and I'm like,
"You're thinking about fighting Islam."
I'm like, I already won the first 3 rounds, so this one is kind of a wash. You know, as long as I do what I got to do.
Interesting.
It was a wash to me. I didn't have that guy with the experience of being in very close fights
man, it's close,
before.
dude. We can't leave it to the judges.
Exactly.
Let's get a takedown. Let's make sure we win no matter what.
And that's gonna happen at this level. Like all these guys can all
dude,
really
the
fight.
level you're at, man.
So you're gonna have close fights. I didn't have the experience of being in one before.
Yeah.
I needed somebody with that. So I kind of learned a little bit from both of them losses. You know, you learn more from the losses, I think, than you do the wins.
100%. That third fight, when you're fighting Gregor, what was the stress like? Because just before you share your story, I remember I lost 2 in a row. I lost to Nogueira, I lost to Rothwell, 2 in a row. My manager calls, goes, they can give you, you got a third fight, but you lose this one, you mean I'm probably on the chopping block. I'm like, shit, man. Then they give me, I think, LeVar Johnson, this monster, this freaking monster. I just remember going that fight, just like, God, I got to win this one. I just remember, I felt so much pressure, man. Because I felt like if I lost that one, like, I can bounce around these other leagues, but you're not doing it, are you? But you're not doing it. So I just remember I felt the most pressure I ever felt in my entire life was on that fight. Did you feel that?
Definitely.
And that's why I didn't like that fight for you.
Then other things was kind of coming into it too. You know, President Trump had showed up a little bit before the fight. And, those are like backstage stuff that
distractions.
People don't really see, when you got to go through like, even just the security, you know what I'm saying? And during that day.
CIA's there, you have this big orange guy walking through the back.
It adds it to it, It's like, I got to really show out for them. I did feel that a little bit, but honestly, it's going to sound fucking cliche, but having Faraz there and listening to his voice instead of my own voice that would play, it's like, oh, Trump is out here. Oh, I got 2 losses in a row. Like, oh, I got it. And then I'm just listening to that one voice. Okay, jab, defend his jab. Like,
be present.
Be present in that moment.
But that's why you have him.
Yeah.
It's the exact reason you have him.
It took a lot to pull that up out of me. But I feel like, the results kind of spoke for themselves,
Man, you looked phenomenal.
And now I just want to build on top of that. When I go down there to Brazil and I hear all these 20,000 people that are all against me, and I'm thinking like, oh man, if I lose to Oliveira, it's a done deal, my career's going to be over. Like, he's lost to other guys before, these things are going to play into my mind, like, oh, I want to fight Islam in Russia. Oh, I want to do this, I want to do that. Oh, I got such big goals. It's gonna be on me to really focus in and do what I gotta do and just focus in the moment, just, missing his leg kicks, to jabbing him.
But that's why you have Faraz there, because he's been, you're talking about some of the biggest fights in UFC history with GSP,
Fighting in his own hometown in front of 55,000 people and all that good shit.
Crazy.
This is
you
why
want him in your foxhole, man.
This is why a fight like this excite me. You know what I mean? Like, that's why a fight in Russia excite me. When we go into war with Iran and all that shit, and I'm thinking about all that in the back of my head. Can I pull what I need to out of myself? You know what I mean? Those are the type of things that kind of get me up. I don't care about the fans. I don't care about the fame. I don't care.
No, you do.
I really don't even care too much about the money. I do.
Really?
I do.
But you're not motivated.
But that's not. Yeah, exactly. That's not.
I don't think you can be and be that successful. You know what I'm saying? In fighting, I know there's the Floyd Mayweather and Conor, but at the end of the day, there has to be something bigger than the paycheck. In order
for Floyd,
to
it was his pride. You know what I mean? For
a long time,
there's
something. People forget, man. When Floyd burst on the scene, he was a fucking killer. He was knocking dudes out, putting it on, pressure fighter. And then when stakes got higher, even George St. Pierre, stakes got higher. There was more pressure, the bigger paydays. He fought smarter. It wasn't as exciting, but he fought smarter. But there has to be something more than money. Like, because I'm telling you right now, let's say you do all this and they give you Khabib. I'm telling you right now, Khabib ain't fighting for money. He don't give a fuck about the money. We'll give it to Kevin. Just have him sign. I want to fight Kevin.
And that's
Khabib, man. That's what you're dealing with.
That's what I'm dealing with. That's what I'm up against.
Stylebender, same way. I guarantee you tell Stylebender, hey, you can fight Yoel Romero up the street, no money, but it's still for the belt. Yep, let's do it. I don't give a fuck. He'll do it.
Yeah, because you get something more out of it. Like I said, for me, I want to see if I've made some mistakes in my career already.
But you're young, man.
I know, and I want to see if I'm past that point. You know what I'm saying? I want to see if I've really learned from it and got better.
Well,
that's the test.
Obviously you have to keep going. There's tests, but already you hiring Faraz is showing that you learned from it. You fighting Gregor and showing up and knocking it. He's a stud, man. He's gonna go on. I know he lost that fight. He's gonna go on to do great. He's gonna be a top 5 guy. Watch what happens. He's a monster. So just by you hiring Faraz, showing up the way you performed your last fight, you've obviously learned, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I want to do even more. I want to do even more. I mean, it's never enough, to be honest. I always want to do more. And once I get the belt, then that's going to be the real, it's almost like a symbol that
You've done it.
Yeah, you've done it. You've gone through this journey.
Are you gonna have Bernie Sanders in your corner?
If it was in Brooklyn, that's what I try. Come on, listen, I'll be trying to make moves.
You think he would have been down? Dude, he's 100
He's not coming
to
Brazil. he ain't surviving that flight. Dude, I don't even want him to. I want the man to be president.
See if he come to Russia, bro.
He's trying to get rid of my student loans. I'm with that. Like, do what you got to do. But if it was in Brooklyn,
was that for those that don't know? Didn't you give a speech at one of his rallies?
Yeah.
How did that come? How in the world did that come about?
Because at the fight with Trump, I shouted out Bernie's name, so he kind of had heard about it.
Oh, wow.
And then he's like, okay, come sit in on something.
Wow.
I came, I sat in.
Was he cool?
He was cool.
Seems like a cool ass dude.
He was cool enough to ask me to speak at one of his rallies.
And you're like, yeah, I'm down.
Yeah,
Are you a political guy, though?
No.
I thought it was kind of random.
It is. I mean, I'm trying to make moves. You know? I was trying to make a fight in Brooklyn happen. So I'm like, who better to get on my side than the man from Brooklyn?
Mr. Brooklyn.
Who might be.
Trump's from New York too, but whatever.
Well, that don't matter.
Yeah.
That don't matter.
Yeah, I hear you. I'm just saying,
he's
Mr. New York.
No, but
yeah.
The real people.
Yeah.
You know
Brooklyn's own Bernie Sanders.
Yeah, exactly. So I was trying to get him on my side.
So did they go through the speech you were going to give? We're like, hey, we just got to make sure you don't.
No.
You could just went up there.
I could have said anything.
Oh, man.
I mean, I tried.
What an opportunity.
I know. I made it good though. It was
yeah. I didn't see it. It went good.
Yeah.
Were you nervous for that?
Hell yeah. Way more nervous to speak. And
oh my God.
Speaking in front of that many thousands of people, it's a. I can show up and I can fight because I prepared for it. I know what I'm doing.
Was anyone like, hey, make sure you say like Bernie's for black people, anything like that? Like, was there any of that?
They did want me to like kind of relate it to Bernie being a fighter because he got health problems and shit. Like
Bernie has a fighter's heart.
He probably gonna hear this right now.
Oh,
but,
it's all good. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. What makes sense? They just like, hey, make sure you cover. Like Bernie has a fighter's heart.
Yeah.
It didn't give up, but he fought back.
Exactly. And it's the truth. It's the truth of the matter.
I hear you. That's dope. He had you though, man. Well, don't eat all that food because I don't want Firas.
I ain't doing it.
Tell him I said what's up.
Get a little meat.
Also, fucking maybe FaceTime with that Russian wrestler, man, the head coach. Give him the smile, man. Take picture of him smiling, man. That fucking guy. Have fun, Montreal, man. I'm rooting for you. You're a monster. You know I'm always in your corner, brother.
Thank
Kevin
you.
Lee, everybody.